Here we are again, going into town for yet another day of errands. Oh, my windshield is gross. Well, don't know how much better that is. So, after days and days and days and days and days of back and forth with between my pharmacy and my doctor, my prescriptions are finally all filled. Although I did tell Hubs last night that it's kind of the final straw for me with my pharmacy. If I have to deal with issues with them again next month getting my scripts filled, I'm changing pharmacies. Last month was it's been a nightmare since my new scripts and the change in my provider. So last month I went to fill my prescriptions, and they canceled my refill order and told me I needed to contact my provider. And I'm like, this is my second month on these medications. What's the deal? I'm like, whatever. So called my provider. She sent in new orders. I'm not exactly sure why these new meds, why I'm not able to do them as an auto refill, why, every single month I have to, request a refill. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know if it's because they're new and I've got to be on them for a little while. I don't know. But, so I was like, okay, whatever. Got them filled. But it was a pain in the butt because it took, between the communications back and forth, it took like 4 days to get my prescriptions filled. So here we are, we roll around into this month. And, I'm checking on the app, and I'm like, only one of my prescriptions is ready for pickup. The other 3 are not due yet. And I'm like, okay, I got a little extra of that meds. I've got got a little bit of time before I have to pick it up. So I'm going to hold off so that I can get all 4 of my medications that I have to pick up every 30 days on the same day instead of having them all on separate days. And so I called the pharmacy and I let them know, and I asked them not to restock, not to reshelve the medication that was ready for pickup. Told them what my intentions were, and they were like, okay, no problem. 30 minutes later, I get a notification from the post office, from the pharmacy, that they've canceled the order and have reshelved my medication. So I resubmitted for a new refill. Within 20 minutes, it was like, oh yeah, it's ready for pickup, which okay, fine. Which I'm glad it happened that quick, because once they put your labels on it, I don't think they can reuse the bottles. So rather than throwing away the 90 pills that they just told me they weren't going to reshelve, it sounds like they just they hadn't pulled them yet, so they just left them there. But and at that point, I was able to submit refill orders for my other 3 medications. And so I kept going back and going back and going back, checking the app, because I've got errands to do, but none of it is like so vital that I'm going to make a special trip to town. My medications, I need to make a special trip to town. So it's like, as soon as my meds are ready, then I'll go into town and I'll run all the rest of the errands while I'm already in town. And so I'm waiting on my prescriptions to be filled. So I'm checking the app, nothing. Then ding, and I'm like, sweet, they're ready. nope. I open the app and it tells me that 2 of my medications have been declined by my medical provider. Please contact my clinic. And I'm like, what? What the hell? So I call up to the clinic, and of course I think my doctor's still out sick. So I didn't have my appointment last week on Friday because she's sick. But I get a call back from somebody on our team, and they're like, so it looks like the reason it was declined was they sent them under Melendrez's name. So Melendrez is my last medical provider, who I haven't been with in 6 months. So the pharmacy screwed up and sent my requests for refills not only to a doctor that is no longer at that clinic, who has not been my doctor in 6 months, and has never prescribed me those medications, because I've only been on them for 3. Or going into my 3rd month, I should say. No, not even that. August, September. Wow, see, it's been like 6 weeks. Anyway, it's been longer than that. No, geez, August 4th. How is this my second time refilling? I'm confused. Maybe it was my first refill they screwed up. Anyway. God, did they really screw up the very first refill, or the very first script? Yeah, they had to have, because August 4th was when I got my diagnosis. So anyway, so I call the clinic, and they tell me all this stuff that, da-da-da-da-da, and they're like, we'll resubmit the orders. I'm like, all right, thank you. And they're like, well, what about your metformin? And I said, well, they said the metformin was fine and that they were processing it. And she goes, okay, we'll just send in orders for the 2 that they said we declined, which we didn't, because there's no notes in our charts of any of us declining it. Which is how she knew that it went to the wrong provider, because he's not at that clinic. So they sent it to the name, but they didn't bother to look to see that he's no longer at that clinic. So he bounced it back. This is not my patient. Now, how they sent 2 to him and 1 to her, I have no clue. But it appears that's what happened. So she sends in the new orders for the 2 that had been declined. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and waiting. Ding on my phone. I pull up the app, and it's letting me know that the 2 have been received and that they're processing. But now my metformin needs a provider approval. Now, mind you, when I talked to them like an hour earlier, like I physically talked to the pharmacy an hour earlier, they told me that one was fine, it was processing. And now it's not fine and it needs approval. So it's damn near 5 o'clock at this point. I call back to my pharmacy and I'm like super, super frustrated. And I'm like, sorry to bother you guys again, but, more problems with the pharmacy and da-da-da-da. And they're like, all right, well, we'll go ahead and send it back. Hopefully we can get it through today. And I was like, whatever, I said, I've got spares. I've got enough to get me through another couple of days if necessary. Because unfortunately, I forget to take my medications often enough. Oh my gosh, that was scary. The van's in front of me. I forget to take my medications often enough that I have some extras. But they sent me a text like 5 minutes later, said they'd sent it in, and within 20 minutes there was notification from the pharmacy that all my scripts are ready for pickup. Oop.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Vanilla butter rum. Yum. I'm gonna do that, but can I do a 24
Yeah,
iced?
of course. Okay, just that one?
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
Vanilla and butter rum. Yummy, yummy. So now my day is scheduled completely around picking up my scripts.
Hey, how are you doing? Good. Just one card? Perfect.
Whew. I have a didn't mean to flip you around, sorry. I was trying to check my messages. I have an item that I need to pick up while I'm in town if they write me back, and I have to go to the craft store, pick up my missing embroidery floss, run by a mail drop-off place, and turn my Temu returns back in the mail. And then completing the big old circle that I'm making today is swinging.
Okay, just gonna be $5.25.
$5.25.
Do you like a normal straw or the skinny ones?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Perfect.
A straw is a straw is a
Yeah,
straw.
right? Whatever gets it in.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Whatever
Well,
gets it in. I like that.
We'll see ya.
You have a good day.
Still down to the count.
One of my favorite coffee places. I love it. It's locally owned. So as I've said on previous streams, previous videos and stuff, is I really do try to support local as much as possible. I mean, I would get all my cross-stitching supplies from somebody if there was anybody, a locally owned shop that sells it, but my guess is that's cost prohibitive. I don't know that I've ever actually seen a privately owned shop that sells those supplies, to be honest. So I'll be going and checking out Joann's. It'll be the first time I've been there since they moved into our mall, which I'm kind of butthurt that I now have to go to the mall. I try to avoid our mall at all costs. I always have. And now, I have to go to the mall if I want to go to Joann's. I'm hoping that they took over like one of the one of the ones that has an outdoor entrance, so that I can just and go, go in and go out. I don't have to like walk through the mall. But, I haven't even really been to the mall. I don't think I've been to the mall at all since COVID. And we lost a lot of businesses during COVID. I think we probably at least 10 stores from the mall left. We lost a bunch of shops, chain shops, as well as mom and pops. I mean, our community was hit pretty hard by COVID. I mean, and that's not to say that other people weren't. I don't know other people's communities. I just know the one that I live in. And several of my favorite shops and stores went down due to COVID. It seems like a lot of the big chain ones that happened to close during COVID were probably already on shaky ground to begin with. because it wasn't just like our store, like Lane Bryant, for example. They didn't close just our store. I mean, they closed stores across the nation, which makes me think that, you know, and it's a clothing store. Big people still need clothes, whether there's COVID or not. So, and I don't think it was a supply and demand issue. It seemed more like it was a business issue. Like they weren't making money, or there was bad finance, something going on already. And COVID was just kind of the nail in the coffin. Catherine's was another store, and they closed like within weeks of each other. Catherine's and Lane Bryant. And I'm like, those were really the only two, other than Torrid, but the only other like plus size clothing outlets here at all, other than like Goodwill and stuff. So, I mean, it was a big hit to lose 2 out of 3 of them. And I won't shop at Torrid. I think their clothes are way overpriced for what you get, you know, for what they are. I'm sure they have some good deals. I don't know. And at least at our store, their setup does not jive with my ADHD / OCD tendencies, because when I go shopping, I want to go to my size rack. I want to be able to go to color block, you know, and that's how I shop. And so I went into our Torrid, and it's like, oh, here's the clearance rack, and everything, every size is there, and it's all mixed and matched, and the pants and the shirt, everything's all mixed together. And I'm like, okay. So at first I was like, oh, it's a clearance rack. Okay, maybe that's not. I turn around, and everything that's hanging up on the walls, nothing is organized by size, nothing was organized by color. And I'm like, if I see a shirt that I like, I don't want to go through an entire rack looking for my size. So I don't know. I was really unhappy with my experience with him. And then, you know, and even then, I was like, I was shopping for wedding clothes, and I found some, you know, I was like, oh, that's really cute. And then I looked at the price tag and went, it ain't that fucking cute. Excuse my language. It's not that cute. I'm like, no, thank you. And that was the last time I walked into that store. I was like, yep, this place is not for me. It's too expensive, and it creates too much anxiety for me. I should have dropped my package off first, because I have to turn around and go back the direction I just came from. I forgot the place that I was going to mail it from moved. I have to look though, because I can't remember. I'll have to look again. Oh yay, it looks like Joann's has an outside door, yay. That looked like Joann's down there anyway. We'll see. It looked like their green awning flashing through the trees. It's crazy to think that our Macy's has survived all of this. Our JCPenney's is gone. Our Sears is gone. What did Dick's Sporting Goods, what did they take over? Crap, I can't remember what was in that building, or in that arm. Our mall's kind of like a center point. It's like a spoke. So there's a center pivot point, and then there's 3 separate arms. And at the end of each arm is like a major store. I don't want to need to circle them all to figure out where Joann Fabrics moved in. Oh, I was seeing the green awning of Barnes and Noble. And then Dick's Sporting Goods. Let's see. Barnes and Noble. I'm really, really hoping that it's got an outdoor door. So sad that Diesta, my favorite shoe store, their Toys R Us is closed. I can't remember what was in this building. And granted, they remodeled. When Dick's moved in, they remodeled this whole front. Yay! Joann's is in the old Sears building. Yay! They have their own door. I love it. I don't have to walk all the way through the mall. That makes me happy. Happier, anyway. Now, the list of the threads that I need is on my phone, so I won't be able to take you shopping with me. But it's a quick in and out. I'm not doing any, like, major shopping. So, it is what it is. And then we'll go back to driving. It still feels very weird to be pulling into this parking lot. However, wait, did we lose our theater? I'm thinking that might have been where the theater was. I don't remember. Anyway, I'll be back. Stay tuned for more driving and jabbering. Okay, I lied because, oh my gosh, the store. Let's knit it. Should be knit and crochet, but whatever. Oh, sorry. I am loving all this space. I don't think I need any felt yet. Look how organized. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Get to run my debit card for 2. So I had listed that I needed a 460, but 460 doesn't exist. So I was thinking typing, it must have been a typing arrow. So I looked at 560, which doesn't exist. I looked at 470, which I know is not what I need because I have that. So the only other thing I could think would be 469. So that's what I'm grabbing. We'll see. It's the right one. If not, oh well. Look how big. Must be inventory time by Alec. That's huge. Let's go check out rock paper it. Rock paper scissor it. This is create it. T-shirts. So organized. fun paper. Can't justify spending $3 on a single sheet of paper though. Cards and envelopes. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and polish up and pay for my stuff, and I'll join you back in the truck. I'm such a big spender. I guess I should start carrying at least a 5 in my wallet or something, because I just ran my debit card for $1.24. She's like, oh, big spender. And I'm like, yeah. I said I tried really hard to find something else I could justify spending money on, but I just couldn't. Dude, you're wrong way. Jerkhole. So off to the mail place. M-A-I-L, not M-A-L-E. To go mail off my package. Go send my Temu order back. So yesterday I got, not yesterday, day before, I got my new fountain for Petrie and a bunch of pants and some new dyes. And one pair of pants are going back because holy crap, are they see-through? Like you can see flesh tone through the pants. I'm like, so even if you were to wear like go total commando, everything would be visible. I mean, everything would be visible, not just your flesh. You know what? I'm going the wrong way. I know where I was headed, but I was thinking backwards. That's right. I'll go up here and make a Yui. What was I saying? Oh, super see-through. They were cute pants. But like I said, they were very see-through. So once I get my refund, I'll probably order the pants just in a different color. Maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it, because now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of pants. That's, you know, for somebody who doesn't really leave the house, I guess I don't really need more pants. Honestly, because I mean, at this point, am I buying pants for the sake of buying pants? Because I'm at home and I'm bored, and you know, I want to be able to spend money. I kind of said the same thing about shirts. I was like, well, maybe next round I'll buy some more shirts. I'm like, but do I really need more shirts? You know, for somebody who stays at home all day and stays in her pajamas pretty much all day, every day, do I need more clothes to wear outside? Probably not. It's kind of funny, you know, it's been what, a year and a half almost? May, June, July, August, year, 3.5 months, 15 months or so since I quit my job. I still have not taken all my work clothes out of my closet. So my non-work clothes, my daily daily clothes sit in a pile every time I wear them, and they get washed and folded. They just get stuck in a pile because there's nowhere in the closet to hang them. And my drawers are full of, other stuff. So I'm like, I should probably actually take some time to take my work clothes, pack them away, and then see, I came in this way, but I think I needed to be one block over. So somewhere, I'm looking for the mail by the mall, which until I went to other rat there. You know what? I'm just gonna park and walk it over. I went to find out if they're UPS or USPS. Looked them up online, and that was when I found out that they moved. I didn't even know they'd moved. So anyway, so I'm gonna pause you, and I will be right back. I'm just dropping this off. Just leave you running. Nah, that would be boring. I'll be right back. And we're back. And she's like, oh, prepaid's going right here. She goes, take a picture of the tracking number so that, you have it. And I'm like, good idea. Except my phone's in the truck. So I grabbed a pen, wrote it down real quick. But yeah, I guess I should be tracking that just in case. Because, they won't, well, they say they won't refund until they receive the packages back in the mail. But the last thing, and it goes through inspection and all that, but the last refund that I had to do, I got the refund 3 days later, and I hadn't even mailed it back yet. So, I don't know. But the other thing I had to mail back was Petrie's Fountain. I plugged it in, and the light turned on, but it wouldn't pump any water. And when I turned it on and held the pump in my hand, I couldn't feel it vibrating, or couldn't hear any sound or nothing. So, and I tried, I filled it with water. I tried priming the tube, sucking the air out and pulling water up. That didn't work. I tried shooting water down the tube. That didn't work. I tried adjusting, see, I did it again. Still going the wrong way. Tried adjusting the, I don't know what the word is, intensity, how strong the suction is. Nothing worked. So I'm like, really? It's the whole reason I needed to get him a new fountain was because the pump quit on the last one. And granted, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did, and I'm surprised that Ducky's is actually still going, because we do have even though we have a soft water heater, or a soft water thingy, there was still a lot of calcification that was going on in their fountains. So I'm actually surprised Ducky's is still rolling, but it's slowing down. It doesn't have as good a flow as it normally does. So I got to pull it apart, clean it out, and see if that helps. And if not, probably just order 2 fountains at the same time. And that way I just have hers on standby for when her first one goes kapoopy. Although I did find out after the fact that on Temu and on Wish, I can buy just the pump, which I didn't know before I threw out. Oh my gosh, and I'm thinking home. but I have to go by Walmart. This is not the way to go home if I have to go to Walmart. I'm driving by Braille. This is habit. This is the way I normally go home. But not today because I have another stop to make. Which my pickup's not for another half hour, so no biggie. I'm just driving around wasting gas apparently. Normally I would go straight, hang a left at the next stoplight, and then a right at the stoplight, and that drops me right onto Badger, which takes me home. But I need to be on the highway. And the other person, you know, the other person I was supposed to meet today, you know, was like, I was supposed to meet up on Monday, but because of the prescription, I didn't go into town Monday, so I messaged him. I said, hopefully tomorrow. Well, when prescription didn't happen yesterday, I messaged him again. I said, my prescriptions are done. I'll be headed into town tomorrow. And he said, okay, just message me so I know what time. And I messaged him earlier this morning and said, does 1 to 1:15 work for you? He hasn't even read the message yet. So it is now 1:30. I have to be at Walmart at 2 to pick up my groceries. So guess I won't be meeting him. I mean, it's not something that I can't buy. It, you know, it was a sheet of pegboard from Marketplace. I don't know if you guys can see that Jeep over there across the street. That is a nice color. I don't know if I'd like it on a car, but it's a nice color. But it was $5 for a sheet of pegboard, which I know is a lot cheaper than like going to Home Depot and picking it up or whatever, but if I have to pay full price for it, then so be it. And who knows, maybe if I just get it through Home Depot, maybe I can get a smaller sheet than, you know, what I was going to be picking up, because I don't need a lot. I'm just using it. I'm going to be using it to teach people how to cross stitch. So, I mean, it's not like I don't need like a 4-foot board, you know. Probably, you know, a 2x2 would probably be plenty, or 2x4. But, like, it's on Marketplace, somebody getting rid of stuff. And as it turns out, there's, I know who it is now that, you know, I Googled the address. He's a I don't know what to call him. He a reseller. So like he has a warehouse down here behind the mall, and he see, I was like right there. Yep, brain fart. And he just collects furniture and, you know, whatnots. And then usually, and obviously he posts on Marketplace, because that's how I came across the pegboard. But like once a month or once every 3 months or something, he opens up the warehouse and he just has like a massive sale. And it may not even be on a schedule. It may just be, oh crap, my warehouse is full and I have no more room, so let's do an open house. Which he just did not that long ago. So maybe I'll keep an eye out, because that would be kind of a, you know, and it's not like it's not real exciting. It's not, You know, not by, you know, it's not like it's an auction or anything. It's just, hey, the doors are open. You go in and you walk through the warehouse, and whatever you want, you take up to the register, pay for it, and leave. Nothing major. I mean, I had a brief thought where I was like, hey, maybe next time he's got a sale going on, I'll take you guys over. But, you know, it's not like any different than going to Costco or something. It's really like grating on my brain what color I was really supposed to have. I mean, the 469 is in the color scheme of the picture that I'm working on. Green, you know, because it's a forest scene, so it's greens and browns, oranges, a little bit of yellow, a lot of black. But yeah, like I said, I had 460 written down, so I went, but 460 doesn't exist, so I kind of went from the 4 up, but I went 370, or 360 doesn't exist, 570 doesn't exist. Okay, so that wasn't a typo there. And then I went to the middle number. So 4, I went, you know, making that 6 a 7 or a 5. Well, 450 and 470. 450 doesn't exist. 470 does, but I know I have 470 at home because I'm working with it. In fact, I just stitched some 470 this morning. So I know it wasn't 470. So I looked at, again, went to that first number, went one up and one below, looked at, you know, maybe I messed up on 2 numbers. Well, 370 is a no. And 570 is a no. Okay. So then I've typed on my phone. So the only thing next to the 0 is a 9. So that left me, that's where I was at with, so I looked at, 469, and that's where I got to that. Because it's the only one that makes sense. I don't know. I guess we'll see when I get home. But, that ADD, OCD, ABCD, EFG, it'll sit and tickle my brain until I get home and look. And this is where it comes in handy to have my pattern as a backup on my phone. Like I used to have all my patterns in Dropbox so that I could just look them up on my phone if I needed to, but my Dropbox got full. Spots all over my cross stitch because I've been missing the colors for a while. So, if it's the wrong color, then they'll just stay blank until I make another trip to town. Which I'll probably have to come back into town on Friday before my husband gets home from work. Dragon food to last me through the weekend, and I'm not gonna have a car this weekend, so hubby's gonna be gone, and he's taking the truck. He leaves on Friday after work, and he was not gonna be back until Sunday night. So kind of play that by ear. If I feed tomorrow night and I'm like, there's definitely not going to be enough to get me through the weekend, then I'll make a quick trip to Winco on Friday, and I'll figure out, I don't know what's in Richland that sells embroidery floss, but I would definitely look. Wish Walmart still did. I mean, they still sell embroidery floss, but it's not the full complement anymore. It's like the most popular. I don't know how they determine that, because I swear it's like every time I need a color, they don't have it. They don't carry it anymore. So it's like either my taste is 180 degrees from like the rest of the world, or they just randomly picked colors and said, oh, we're only carrying the popular ones, because it seems like the patterns that I have that have the same colors over and over and over and over are not the ones that Walmart carries. Kind of thinking about what I was talking about at the beginning, private shops carrying cross-stitch supplies. I'm thinking that they don't, because DMC controls their prices. So like as a business owner, you couldn't decide to have a sale and sell them for less, because DMC controls the bottom line, and you can only sell at their designated prices. So like when DMC goes on sale, as it's on its own, through the company, is when businesses put their stuff on sale. They can't just go, oh, we're overstocked, and so we're gonna put stuff on sale. And I don't know if the same can be said with like the patterns or the cloth, the Aida cloth or the even weave. I don't know if that's price controlled or not, but I imagine that that's the primary reason why there aren't any like privately owned places that sell embroidery floss, because like you can't, you've got to pay what they say, and you can only sell it for what they say. It's not really, you can't do your own thing. I wonder what they're collecting signatures for today. I'm glad I'm not going and standing in line. I'm not walking in. So I am really early for my pickup by like 20 minutes. I'm just gonna go park, and then in 20 minutes I will move over into a pickup spot. Let's see, come park in the shade as much as I can, because it's a little warm out today. Yeah, this is like no shit. That was a faker shade. Okay. A little bit. But I'm not going to sit here and jabberjaw with you for the next 20 minutes, because then I won't have anything to talk about on the way home. So I'm going to play on my phone for 20 minutes, and we'll be back for the drive home. Stay tuned. All right, order is picked up and loaded on my way home. while I was sitting here waiting, so like 5 minutes ago, a person finally messaged me back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just saw your message." I'm like, well, he said, you know, we're gonna try again later in the week. If not, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I may just go buy it at a store and just pay full price for it, just for the convenience of, you know, not trying to coordinate schedules. But, you know, he's like, I got plenty of pegboard. I'm not about to run out anytime soon. So, let's see. Do I want to go highway or do I want to go back road? Let's go back road. So, I don't know. I'll decide a little later in the week when I'm deciding whether I have to come back into town to get dragon food. Oh, I got stuff rolling around back there. Yeah, it's the hard part now about doing curbside is that, you know, none of your stuff gets bagged. You know, like, oof, cereal. And I don't know if it's all Walmarts or just the Walmarts in this state, since we have to pay for bags here. But they don't provide you bags at all anymore. So if you don't bring your bags, you just have to load everything into your cart individually and then load them into your car individually, unless you have bags in your car, which I usually do. I just forget to bring them in. Bag it yourself and then carry it into your house. But when you do curbside, you don't even have the option for bagging because they're loading from the cart straight into your car. You know, and they're not going to bag. You know, it says on the app that, you know, you have to bring your own bags, but they don't bag your stuff at your truck, you know, at your vehicle. So yeah, I don't know. I hate it. Like I said, and it could just be the Walmarts in my state because we have to pay for bags here. I don't know. So those of you outside of Washington, let me know. When you do curbside pickup at Walmart, does your stuff come in bags? Or does your Walmart not offer bags anymore? I'm hoping that we ever get, you know, if we get this jackhole out of office here, we get somebody new. That maybe, I doubt it, but maybe we can get this stupid law overturned. Because like I said, it makes no sense. It's billed under, it's touted out there as, you know, this is about it's an environmental thing. It's to reduce single-use plastics and, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But the bags that we now have to pay for are twice as thick, at least twice as thick. They don't biodegrade nearly as quickly. So what really are we doing to help the environment? But not even just that. Like, you go to your coffee stations and a lot of your cups, in fact, the cup I'm drinking out of right now, plastic cup, plastic lid, plastic straw. But over on the west side of the state, things were changed over there. Like, you know, you used to go to Starbucks and you'd get a plastic straw that was in a paper sleeve. Well, now you get a paper straw in a plastic sleeve. So how is that reducing single-use plastics? Because at least with a plastic straw, you can reuse it if you so chose. I mean, you know, you can't reuse a paper straw. You could barely single-use a paper straw, but you definitely can't use it for multiple drinks. So how is that saving plastic use? That makes no sense to me. And here like Dutch Bros, they used to have like, the flat lids, right? Little drink lids. Well, because of the change in policy here regarding straws, they changed their lids, and they look like little sippy cups. So they're not flat, and they use more plastic than the flat ones, and a thicker plastic. So again, how are we making environmentally sound decisions and quote unquote decreasing single-use plastics? And I'm like, it's a bunch of crap. It's not about saving the environment. It's not about reducing single-use plastics. It's about making money. Plain and simple. I am not, and there's nothing you can say, nothing anybody can say that could convince me otherwise. This was a decision that was made for the purpose of making money. And they knew they couldn't pass it off. They couldn't get it to pass unless they touted it out as something that it's not. Because we're not. And show me a household that the plastic bag is a single use. They come home from the grocery store, they unload their groceries from all the plastic bags, and they just throw the plastic bags away. Okay, windshield wipers, turn off, please. I don't know a single household. Not a single household where those plastic bags are immediately thrown away once the groceries are pulled out of them. Everybody that I know uses them for multiple things. My house in particular, they were used for litter bags, for the cat boxes. I used them to package, package things. When I'd ship them out, I would put them in a plastic bag just to give them a layer, of protection against, things that happen shipping. How many times have I gotten, or have you gotten, packages in the mail that clearly have gotten wet somehow or another during transport? In fact, in one of my craft groups, somebody had just posted a question, because they got a package in the mail. It was a rack, a random act of kindness, which they're not really random because, we Trowbridge closed. What bridge? What? The hell's a Trowbridge, number one? And there's no bridge here. Huh? There's not a bridge out here. How is a bridge closed? Interesting. Is that the name of a road? Maybe? I wonder. I don't know. Anyway. Squirrel. What was I talking about? Craft. So in one of my groups, somebody had posted a question because they had gotten the package in the mail. A random act of kindness. It's not really random because we actually sign up for it, so we know we're getting something. We don't always know who we're getting things from, or what, and obviously we don't know what we're getting until we get it, but it's not really always random. Sometimes it's random, but not always. But she got her package in the mail, and it had been repackaged by the post office and put into a shipping box, and there was a note inside that stated, and she could smell it as soon as she, got it open and stuff, that somehow or another the original package, Trowbridge Road. Haha, it is a road. I wonder how people are getting home up there. Somehow or another, her package got soaked in diesel fuel during shipping. Now, I don't know how that could even happen, considering, shipping diesel fuel? I mean, like, how did somebody try to ship a container of fuel through the mail? I cannot fathom. I can't think of any logical, rational way that somebody's package got soaked with diesel fuel, especially to the degree that the post office then had to open it and repackage it to continue on with shipping. And like, I don't know, in my mind, why would you continue shipping them? That to me seems like a big liability, you know, a big danger risk. I mean, I don't know, seems like it would have made more sense just to like drop a postcard in the mail to both the sender and the recipient and be like, well, we had to destroy the package due to flammability or, you know, whatever. But something like that, if the stuff had been in plastic and then packaged, it might not have gotten wet and would have been salvageable. Now for this person, everybody's telling her just go ahead and throw it away because, you know, if it's dry and it still smells that strong, she's probably never going to get the smell out, you know. So unless you're making a journal for a diesel mechanic, there's not many people in the world that are going to appreciate their book smelling like diesel fuel. But, you know, does it create more of a flammability issue than regular paper does? I don't really know. I don't know enough about diesel fuel. I don't know enough about fuel in general to know its flammability. What's its flash point when it's dry? I don't know. But for me, would be a no-go. If I got something that, you know, smelled of fuel and there was a note from the post office telling me that they received it, it was wet, you know, I would throw it away, and I'd be pissed and I would throw it away. But, you know, there's no such thing as single-use plastic. Again, I think that was just a BS tactic to justify the bill in order to make money. In fact, I could probably pull into my neighbor's driveway right now and see her using quote-unquote single-use plastics for multiple things. She opened some of those Chewy boxes, so I come over and snag some paper. Okay, rant o'clock is over. Doggies are probably going to be happy to go inside for a bit. It's only 83. They're probably fine outside. It's not super hot. They have water out in the garage, and they have the garage if they, you know, usually they'll lay outside, either like under the porch where it's hot, or in the sun where it's hot. And I'm like, you dingbats, go in the garage where it's cool. Weirdos. So groceries are going to be fun. I'm only taking in right now, right away, I'll take in what's needs to be inside and refrigerated, and the rest will leave in the truck until the hubby gets home. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys again later.